It is all fun and games at Grandma's house when you're dealing with go-to grandma, Kathy Buckworth. But here's her secret. You're also learning something.
I know. I love sneaking and learning, right? I did it with my kids, and now I'm doing it with my grandkids. And actually, it's not a chore at all because they love this. I'm a board game person. We are a board game family. Did you grow up with it?
Yes.
And I did too. And now my kids, even as adults, have board game nights at their apartments. It's awesome. So I really am getting into it now because my grandsons are getting old enough to play games. So what game playing does really, this type of game playing, it improves your cognitive functions, of course. So we're talking about math, spelling, understanding, comprehension, reading comprehension. We're also talking about improving social skills, of course, because I'm
working together as a team or maybe as an opponent.
Not cheating, having good manners, taking turns, that sort of thing. And it's also great for that tactile movement, moving players around the board. And guess what? All of those things I just described, which are great for grandkids and kids, great for me. Great for someone who's 60, who's trying to keep those things going, right? And keep your brain active and really engage with your kids in a really fun way. So I thought I'd start with some of the simple ones here. We all know Candyland, pretty sure. I'll tip it up a little bit, but Candyland is the starter game, I think, for most kids because it's very simple. You draw cards, you move your players, you don't eat it.
So a young'un at home thought that the candy pieces were actually edible.
I wish. That's a good chocolate version. Okay, let's do it. Snakes and Ladders also is a big favorite with kids. Super easy to understand. Again, this is the 3D version, so it's kind of fancy.
Wow.
Yeah, right? Trivial Pursuit is huge in my family. My husband and I love it. However, over the years, my kids are like, we don't know this stuff.
Yeah, from the original
Super
one,
frustrating.
it's like those questions.
Right, and they're like, you just want us to not look smart. So I'm like, guess what? I bought the version that's 2010 to 2020. There are questions about TikTokers there. I don't understand what they're talking about. And I'm like, you're right. So it's great because it levels the playing field for those of us who have a broader, longer knowledge, but not today, maybe as current.
Are the categories the same?
No, they're different.
Oh,
so
they're different. I was going to say, could you use the
social
same
media,
cards?
YouTube? It's really good. I have the Star Wars one here again. This one is, they've got all kinds of examples of these ones, but one that suits your child's interests. How's that? So gets them engaged in the game playing and not just, I don't know that, Mom, because it happened in 1950. That's frustrating.
Yes.
I love this game, the Bob Ross Art of Chill game. It's one of those games, my kids love Bob Ross. I don't know, it's a real thing with Gen Z kids.
Yeah.
And it's really just you're painting a palette, not actually painting, but with cards, etc. Super chill, not competitive, relaxing. Love this game.
You have to talk in a Bob Ross voice.
Well, I've learned at the Winter Whites and things like that, right? You have to say quite. Scrabble, of course, any word game. I also brought my Spill and Spell and my Boggle, but they're so beaten up from years of use, I'm like, I can't put them on the nice table. But anyway, Scrabble is a great game. There's Junior Scrabble, of course, spelling, of course, figuring out words, challenging words. Is that a word? Do you spell it that way?
Adding up things.
Adding up
with
things.
Math.
Exactly right. All of those great things. Monopoly, I brought this for Don Janescu because it's the Toronto Maple Leaf version.
And he tried to burn it.
In the hallway. But Monopoly, obviously great for money and trading and real estate, etc. Those sorts of things. So as the kids are getting older, they're getting more into that. And of course, I couldn't do this without mentioning Jenga, because that's one of the favorites. Again, the tactile movement, it's super fun for kids. Any age can play Jenga, and we're all equally good and bad at it. So if you have the chance to pick up any of these games, do so. This is actually from my own private game collection. I have about 10 different versions.
And so many libraries have games too,
Yes, actually,
right?
that's a great point. I take my grandsons to the local library, and you can take out games, so you don't have to invest in them if you don't want to.
Yeah.
You can almost always find board games at garage sales, right? So you don't have to invest a lot of money in them because new ones can be kind of pricey, actually. So I encourage that as well, to scour garage sales. Go to your parents' house, or in my case, my kids, and say, can I take those games? When my parents downsized, I took all their games.
Oh, that's a great idea.
And it was awesome. Games like Clue, right? And Masterpiece, and I don't know, just so many great old games. Operation. Oh, none of my kids are doctors. I don't know where I went wrong there. But
I remember our neighbors had Operation. We didn't have it, and I'm like, I still want to play that.
I want to play that. Can I just quickly mention too? I'm wearing purple because it's Epilepsy Awareness Month, and this is their color. And if you go to my Instagram page, which is Kathy Buckworth, you'll find a link to a post that I did where I interviewed a parent of a child with epilepsy and how grandparents can help manage that, and what they should know, and safety sheets and all that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to throw that little plug in at the end.
Look we're learning while we're playing games.
Exactly.
Okay, what shall we play after the show is over?
I think
Jenga.
I said Tim goes for Jenga, not Scrabble.
Not going to do Scrabble.
You have to know how to spell the place.
Okay, we'll put all your socials up on our website, chch.com/morninglive. Always great to have you on the show.
Thanks, Nat.